few years ago, I bought my first house in a quiet town. It was an old two-story colonial house. Not fancy, but the price was good, and it had a nice-sized yard. After renting apartments for years, having a place of my own felt amazing. The previous owner, a retired professor named Alan Foster, had lived there for decades before moving south to be closer to his family. The house had charm, though it was a bit worn. There were dark wooden floors, creaky stairs, and a big master bedroom upstairs. Over the next few months, I worked hard fixing it up, painting the walls, changing lights, and slowly making it feel like home. By mid-August, I had collected a bunch of old stuff, furniture, dishes, tools, that I didn't need anymore. So I decided to have a yard sale. It seemed like a good way to clear out some space and maybe meet a few neighbors. The morning of the sale was sunny and already hot by 9 a.m. I set up tables along the driveway, put out boxes of items, and arranged bigger things like lamps and chairs near the sidewalk. People stopped by, chatted, and bought a few things here and there. Around 11 a.m., I saw an older woman walking slowly toward me. She wore a faded floral dress and had gray hair pinned back neatly. I hadn't seen her before, and the town was small enough that you noticed new faces. She didn't look at the sale items. She came straight to me, stared at the house behind me, and asked in a soft, raspy voice, "You live here now?" "Yeah," I replied, feeling strangely uncomfortable under her stare. "Moved in a few months ago." She nodded slowly, still looking at the house. "I used to babysit the kids who lived here a long time ago," she said, then looked at me with clear, distant eyes. "You should really check under the floorboards in the master bedroom. Not everything was found." Before I could ask her anything else, she turned and walked away. I called out to her, but she didn't stop or look back. In moments, she was gone, and I was left standing in the hot sun, confused and uneasy. The rest of the yard sale was quiet, but her words stayed with me. That evening, after cleaning up, I kept thinking about what she said. Not everything was found. What did that mean? Curiosity got the best of me. I went upstairs to the master bedroom and started tapping on the floor with my feet, listening for anything strange. When I reached the closet, the floor sounded hollow. I knelt down and pressed on the boards. One of them moved slightly. I managed to lift it with my hand. My heart started racing. Underneath the board, covered in dust and some insulation, was a small bundle wrapped in dark cloth. I hesitated, then slowly pulled it out. It was heavier than I expected. The cloth felt old and brittle. With shaky hands, I unfolded a corner and saw small bones inside. They weren't large, but definitely not something you'd find by accident. Someone had hidden them there. I dropped the bundle, heart pounding. Who hides bones under floorboards? I quickly called the local police. They arrived within 30 minutes, took photos, bagged the bones, and searched the area under the floor. They didn't find anything else. The officers asked if I had met the previous owner, Alan Foster, but I didn't know much. A few days later, the police called with an update. The bones were not human. They belonged to a small animal, like a dog or cat, and were at least 30 years old. Strange, yes, but not illegal. Still, I couldn't forget about them. I called Alan Foster to ask if he knew anything. He seemed truly confused and said he had no idea. He sounded unsettled and ended the call quickly. That only made me feel worse. I looked into the house's past. It had been bought and sold a few times before Alan lived there, but nothing seemed strange or criminal. kept hoping the old woman would come back and explain, but she never did. None of my neighbors recognized her. She was a mystery, a loose end. Even after a year, I kept thinking about those bones. Why hide animal bones under the floor? Why did that woman know they were there? And why did she say not everything was found? If those bones weren't what she meant, then what else is hidden here? Before we move on to the next chilling story, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a scary tale. Your support really helps us grow. Please like, comment, and share this story with your friends and family.